Welcome back to Talk Time. I'm your host, Tisha Powell. I'm an attorney and TV host. I covered government law 18 years now. So, the debt ceiling, what's going on? Well, President Biden ran on student loans forgiveness. Well, in the debt ceiling that they're about to pass, they're going to go ahead and restart the student loans. How do you like that, young people? And also, President Biden is a champion for poor. However, in the debt ceiling, they're going to reduce some of the food stamp. So, how do you like that again, poor people? I mean, the same things that big government said they would take care of, the student loans and homeless and poor, is the same thing that they're not doing with the debt spending. But guess who's a big winner in the debt ceiling? Guess who's getting a lot of money? Pharmaceutical companies who get big governments in. Why? Because there is no cut to Medicare and Social Security. But what you don't understand, the majority of people who bill Medicare and Social Security are pharmaceutical companies. So what happened? They're charging $1,600 to the United States government for one drug. Now, why isn't President Biden or somebody in Congress trying to negotiate with pharmaceutical companies rather than keep paying them that much money? Why are they not doing that? And as for the budget, it's not being balanced. President Biden has decided, wait till 2025. So basically, what we're learning, young people, if you don't want to pay your bills, just throw them aside. That's not reality, but that is big government reality for you. So the budget was not balanced. President Biden did not balance the budget. President Biden is just pushing everything away for 2 more years after the election. I mean, it's time for President Biden to think about an election. He's not sure if he's going to be up against Biden or Trump. And so that's much more important, young people, than some kind of budget for you. And I am really kind of sad that some of the homeless people in America are not going to get the help they need. So from homelessness to transgenders and prideness. The month of June is Pride Month, and I have no problem. I've got relatives that are lesbians, so there's no problem with me with Pride Month or whatever. I am conservative. I am for family and faith, and that's just what I'm about. The transgender movement doing in the United States is got to calm down. We're going to talk about what's going on. Examples of why we're saying it needs to calm down is that the transgender are being allowed to be in the same sports as somebody who has not had that surgery. So let's say, for example, that you are a woman and then a man got a surgery and turned into a woman. So now he's a transgender woman, but he's still a man. He gets now to be in a sports. It's called fairness, according to big government, liberals, and secular people. That's not a fair system. So if a journalist or a broadcaster, whoever just said we need fairness for women's sports, then they complain that we are bigotry. That's what they said. They said we don't like transgender people because we don't want transgender to play in the sports. And that's not correct. What we want is fairness. Life should be about fairness. And there is something wrong if a man can play into a woman's sport. Men are physically stronger than women. So therefore, that man who is now a woman through a surgery, which is still not a man because he's got to take a lot of medicine, so it doesn't even work. But through surgery, he's looking like another sex, but he's not the other sex because biologically it cannot be changed. Guess what? That man gets to run against women. Those things are unfair. And we are going to fight for fairness because women are equal to men. But when it comes on to sports, women should play women and men should play men. Why are we like mixing the genders together? That's going to be unfair for the men. The men will always win against women in a sport because men are physically stronger. When it comes to brain, women can beat men, men can beat women. But when it comes on to physical strength, there's a difference. So let's talk about fairness for sports. My producer told me we're out of time. Thanks so much for tuning in to Talk Time. I'm your host, Tisha Powell, from all of us here in New York, from all of us here in New York at Tisha Powell Talk Time. Goodbye, you all, and we'll see you real soon. Be sure to subscribe. We've got more. Hi, it's Tisha Powell, and welcome to Talk Time. I'm the host. It is an honor and a privilege to come in your home. We are live from New York on Long Island, and we are covering the news of the day. It is President Donald Trump versus DeSantis. Who will go up against President Biden come 2024? And many of you know I wrote a book in 2020 saying President Trump must win. Discover the dark days Americans will face if Trump isn't elected come 2024. And a lot of the young people didn't believe because a lot of the big government says if you get them when they're little, you get them for life. So President Biden ran on the fact that he's going to cancel our student loans. And so a lot of young people voted for President Biden. And as we're going to see in the debt ceiling today, the student loans did not get canceled. In fact, President Biden is going to be signing with the debt ceiling that the student loans got to start getting paid back in 60 days. So young people, you voted for President Biden. And now you're seeing what's going on. I'm 47 years old, and I tried to tell everyone I got deplatformed on Twitter after 2 million people heard me say, God loves you. I try to get the message out there. I tried very hard. I've authored 3 books. I'm an attorney. I can teach you about American history. I went to law school in the United States. Young people, big government has a saying, when they get you when you're little, they get you for life. Now you're seeing what big government is really about. It's almost time to put you back into debt. But let's talk about the Trump versus DeSantis. So people are saying, well, I wrote a book in 2020 saying Trump must win. I was deplatformed by Twitter for having that book and being a Trump supporter. Ann Colt was a Trump supporter. So was DeSantis. So was a lot of people. So am I going to choose Trump over DeSantis? I am not making that decision. Let the chips fall where they may. I'm just carrying the news for you today. But it seems as if those people who are no longer loyal or no longer want to go with President Trump, he's now beginning to nitpick on them. I guess he attacked Laura Ingraham for saying stuff. He went after Kellyanne. Ann Colt wrote on Twitter, and Ann Colt is she's a right wing. They call me the Black Ann Colt. I don't know why. I guess because I'm born again and I love Jesus, and I'm a lawyer and a writer and a TV host. I'm not sure. But according to Ann Colt on Twitter, she called President Trump an artist and a liar. So Ann Colt said that the Republican Party should be done with Trump. Ben Shapiro he's not a conservative host. He had DeSantis on his show. So we are seeing that some of the conservatives are for President Trump, others aren't. And then you've got the Twitter versus Fox. You've got Murdoch versus Elon Musk. And we know Musk had DeSantis on Twitter trying to going live, and it didn't really work, but still they have their campaign going. So this is going to be very interesting. Stick with me, subscribe. I am going to go down to Florida and I'm going to go interview. We're going to go into the Trump camp and the DeSantis camp. We're going to bring you the news. These 2 men are probably going to be neck and neck fighting to get up against Biden. Speak of which, Biden, did you hear the news recently? Well, the DNC plans on not having a debate. Oh, yes. It means that even though President Joe Biden has the option of other Democrats running against him, well, it doesn't matter who wants to run against President Biden on the Democratic side. You are not going to get a debate. The DNC said there will be no debate against President Biden. They want to seal that deal in. They want to make sure that President Biden is on that thing. So they're willing, the DNC is so willing to just bypass fairness. I mean, God forbid somebody should try to run against Biden who don't agree with this inflation and the social thing and this recession we're in. It doesn't look like everybody from big government love the inflation, but the DNC said, let the inflation continue. No one will go up against Biden. So we know that an actor from Dawson Creek, what did he do? Well, that actor went to Twitter and he complained that it's not a fair system. And then he bashed Kamala Harris as well. So as everybody know, I'm Jamaican. My kids are US born. I live in the United States. I've been living here since I was 5 years old. I went to college here. Yeah, and Kamala Harris' dad is also Jamaican. Kamala Harris was born in the United States. But the father fled Jamaica because back in the 70s, it was going to be a socialist country, Jamaica. The father is also, Kamala Harris' father is a college professor. So he's very liberal. Kamala is just like me. I'm an attorney. It's big in the Caribbean community for women, especially African-American women in the Caribbean community, to become lawyers, doctors, politicians, whatever it is. So I'm an attorney as well. Kamala Harris is an attorney. So I'm Jamaican. She's Jamaican. She's Jamaican-American. She was born here. So people are saying, why am I bashing Kamala Harris? First of all, Kamala Harris doesn't have any kids. So she only has a career. So I don't think Kamala Harris can relate to mommies because she's not a mommy. She's just a career woman. So that's the number one. Number two, her father left Jamaica because Jamaica almost turned into a socialist country. I lived there in the 70s. It was going to be really bad. They were close to the Cubans. It was really sad. It was really tough time. And so her father and other people ran. And now Kamala Harris and President Biden wants to turn America into big government. Big government is socialism. I can't believe the irony of everything. The same thing that your dad ran from, Camille, is the same thing that you're bringing to America. What an irony this is. Isn't life ironical? We'll be back shortly with more. Subscribe. We're going to talk about the DeSantis and transgender and Target. And don't you turn that dial. Subscribe. We'll be back shortly. Hi, it's Tisha Powell. I'm the host of Talk Time with Tisha. Love shows like this? Not a problem. We want to hear from you because every month we will be giving at least one of our subscriber a free gift, prize, or vacation valued well over $100. But in order for you to find out about these game prizes, you must be a subscriber. So go ahead, subscribe, and follow us on the 5 major social media channels that we're on. My producer just popped it up on the side, but we're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Our favorite is TikTok and YouTube. We are on YouTube and TikTok on a weekly basis. So subscribers, you know what to do. Subscribe. We are going to be giving away, one person could be getting a gift. We've got to be going, but every month there will be a free gift on Talk Time with Tisha, and only those who are subscribers will be eligible for it. So we will see you real soon. Subscribe anyway, because you don't want to miss anything we've got to talk about. Thank you, America. Thank you, God. Over 100,000 views on YouTube, 1.6 million views and counting on Twitter. God bless you all. Have a good day.